patient to get sAw the victory, and after some extended internet problems, we are here with Inferno. The map pick of forZe, a map that they feel pretty damn comfortable on, Dean, I think it's safe to say, with sAw on a recent losing streak.
Yeah, I think their last 4 games, if I recall correctly, haven't gone too well here on Inferno, so it could be rough, especially with how close that previous one was. Also, we're in sAw themselves were struggling to close out their own map choice one where we thought they were big favourites as well. So we'll have to see. Their most recent game versus Movistar did not go too well. Before that, though, Gamer League and Tyloo, they lost both of those 16-14. So it seems like it's one they can kind of play into the pistol round either way. It's heavy on utility on the T side, at least on 2 players. Roman and Muturus going for smoke, Molly and a flash as well in play. A present around the apartments, and the rest of them just grouping on banana.
Really interesting to see sAw starting on the T side as well. Their choice. Map they normally play CT heavy. And opting to take the T side offensive to start things off. uJerk starting to prove that right. Quick head onto Clack keeps them in a 2-2 split, but it's going to be the Julies. Smokes come out and they're well countered by the CT side. Just a single smoke. Julies looking to get work done. Top of first oranges. It's a slaughter. 3 kills in a matter of seconds, and that is a demolition job. They have, however, managed to sneak their way out onto A. uJerk has worked his way in towards those arches, and maybe, just maybe, if he can catch a timing here, there might be something on, but there's timings all over the shop, and uJerk is looking for them. Second player dinked up, yet to rotate are the CT side of forZe, but uJerk has called now that that site surely must be open if he's not dead yet. Should have another for free as well, and he's bought them a 2-on-2. All 3 kills from sAw in the round so far have come from the Glock of uJerk, and as that bomb goes down, he's bought them a huge opportunity here. 2-on-2. No kit on the board. Crad without armor as well, which is always so critical to remember when you're up against the Glocks. And Jerry on just 20 HP. Those Julies not primed for a long-range engagement, as there is the initial contact charging onto the side. Jerry is easy pickings. Crad dinked up. uJerk's nearly got it all done himself if it wasn't for that last dink not quite doing enough. It's 4 kills on the pistol for the new boy, and it's a round they steal in a 2-on-4.
Yeah, the Glock letting them down a little bit there on the final kill. I was actually slightly scared. I could see Crad hitting that flick over back on the Roman, who didn't have Kevlar. Maybe the aim punch would have been an issue as well, but thankfully the trade was there fast. And what, 2-on-5 initially there after they attempted their B hit? What a turnaround. Obviously uJerk is the one that gets it pretty much all done, but it's the fact that forZe let that slip now has got to be a bit demoralizing, kicking off the second map after having a rough loss to end the first one as well. And then a massive break as well, where they were sitting around kind of just, I guess, left to think about it. They were having some internet issues, I believe. Most of the damage, I think, done so far, at least a decent chunk of it was actually team damage in on mid.
Yeah, there was definitely a dink in amongst that. I think the SMG did some work for the CT side as well. Sort of a bit of a mixed bag, shall we say. Man advantage found, however, and that's what they'll look to leverage now. The problem is, as you said, with a couple of players within a 1-shot to the chest for a deagle, these kind of pops get increasingly dangerous, and the aggression is well read by the AK of Story as he grabs the first, and now they'll start to split their way in towards this B-bomb site. Muturus through the smoke catches Clacks, and that'll be it. Despite the damage done, there's just no conversions on the entries in towards B. With all 5 players up for sAw, this is time to start calling your saves for Jerry and Crad. They'll back away from the situation. And we get a little bit of a break to sort of look at this one. And, you know, I was talking about how I was surprised to see sAw. It's certainly not the usual choice as the hunt, well, continues to find purchase to start on the T side on Inferno. And when you're a team with a 58% win CT to 42 on T side, and that's me rounding up a little bit on the T to be generous. Opting to start there is a brave old call.
Yeah, I mean, it does make some sense considering we've seen them have a lot more of their success, or at least especially once initially they kind of struggled on their T side of Ancient, but once they got going, once they got a feeling for that previous map, it really was where they thrived, especially going into the overtime as well. That was where they got the nice streak of rounds towards the end to actually just close it out. So I can understand wanting to keep it on the T side here, but it was risky, as you said. If that pistol round hadn't been recovered by U-Jerks, then they would be in a completely different position right now with forZe getting an early CT lead. So we'll see if it fully pays off for them, but it definitely is in the early stages. A few nades here to work with. 157, 1 P250, that's all that's upgraded for forZe, so I'm not expecting much. A kill or two would be nice. sAw. Well, while they're not expecting much, that's the exact reason that they're just going to hold back and play out a slow default. They know it's pistols, and at most, maybe one or two of them even being upgraded. So they're happy to sit back in a default and wait and see if anyone's going to show themselves.
It's that eternal struggle of how passively do you play in the opening moments and how do you time your aggression so that you are not caught completely off guard. Shalfie takes an early dink. And we'll back away from the situation. They're just trying to funnel this T side in towards the B side stack, but much like Ancient, sAw are doing a fantastic job of just dodging it. Still using their util, still making sure if there is any presence on this A site, it's going to be cleared well. But, I mean, without too much thought, you wonder if there's a little bit of pre-game prep coming into this, because they haven't really poked the B-bomb site, haven't really done anything to work out that the stack is on B, but they've gone into A regardless. They've executed well, and they've grabbed themselves a third round, which at this point, I mean, it's one of those situations where the save looks a little silly, because what are you saving? 2 flashes, a HE, and $650 of Kevlar. Maybe the 5.7, but you're going to want rifles in the next anyway. But you don't really want to farm away your kills, so what's the choice made? And the story, he's going to go on a little bit of a hunt here, see if maybe he can get some cash into that Mac 10, but with multiple bodies facing him down, it may be difficult to do so. We'll grab at least one. So he just looks to farm out some cash at the death of round 3.
A little bit of a trade there at the end. Did you get the Mac 10? No, sadly. Story, I think he'll be happy enough to have added an extra kill off of the SMG to his economy now as he comes right onto the op as well. So, overall, things kind of working out for both sides there, as you said, a little bit being saved over. No op on the CT side, unfortunately. That will give pretty much free reign to Story if he wants to try and take some of these early peaks. Doesn't really have the spawn for it though, so I'd expect Utility to probably keep him at bay initially. Jerry just peeks down Banana straight up. Does some serious damage on towards Just. Doesn't quite manage to finish though, and I think with that they'll probably drop their nades and maybe come in for the control again in a moment. They have a player actually trapped in the tree. That's Mutris. Unfortunately didn't put the nade directly on him, otherwise he might be dead right now.
Still a ton of damage done in these opening moments. Multiple players struggling to hold it. Jerry going for a hunt, but Story's got his teammates back. Scope looking a little glitchy for us, but it's working just fine for him. Early kill found, and Krad's got to be careful here. The lone defender of this B-bomb site at the moment, if sAw looks to charge it with any real pace, we'll drop his smoke now to buy a little more time, but the teammates are not coming here. The support is not arriving anytime soon. Now Shalfie's started to make his way back around. sAw, they want to go quickly on this. It's chaos inside of the smoke. The molly is good as well. Krad burning alive will go down eventually, just on low HP. Will continue to hunt with Mutaris. 19 health finds the kill. The trades once again just about this time, but they do go in favor of sAw. The man advantage is there. And with Klax and Zorte both looking for a CT retake, well, they're not even going to look for it. They'll back themselves out. They'll look for the save, and a 4-0 start for sAw is a pretty fantastic way to get on board of your T side of Inferno.
Yeah, real commanding start to the series, and again one where there's some players on forZe who aren't even getting any kills going in these early stages, which is really ideal. At least 2 weapons will be saved over, but it's, I mean, 4 already on the T side. You can understand why sAw went with this T side opening. I wonder if they were using their pause time a little bit more productively as well. I believe it was a player on forZe who had some internet issues, so sAw maybe all sitting in DMs, getting ready for this map. That's probably why they went with the T side start.
They're looking mighty warm. I've got a funny feeling I've seen sAw do this T side start before, and I've called it as a bit unusual, but it's working out well for them so far here. This one, a little bit of an amalgamation of bits and pieces. Those 2 saved rifles to form the backbone of an MP9 and a couple of 5.7s. in place of what would normally be the vital organs of a CT defense. And again, it's up to sAw to just sort of dodge and weave their way past the worst of the firepower and execute where there's least. Heavy lean over towards B, firepower-wise, from the CT side with an MP9 and one of those rifles. An aggressive stance in towards the apartments. The nade is huge, though, and U-Jerks takes full advantage. 2 quick kills. Shalfie on that 5-7, at least good for 1, and he'll double his account as well. Tapping away at the heads, that 5-7 doing its best work. And with a retake towards top banana, even on a 3-on-3, and rifles available as well. This is not a done deal yet for sAw. MP9 and an M4 up close towards top banana, and for now, an isolated fight. Uterus is getting some support as he's flashed around the corner. Clean headshot for 1 and the second, just beautifully flashed in. Somehow finds both headshots. And Shalfie, well, he got both the kills in towards the apartments. He'd need an ace here to get anything out of this one. Saved Rifles trying to get it done. It's the 5-7 that gets all the work. And at this point, yeah, just fall back, play it a little safe, and it should be a 5th round. It will be a 5th round on the board for sAw as Shalfie hoping to maybe find himself one of those AKs and get it saved away.
Yeah, will he be able to find one? He's struggling at the moment. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, surely there is at least one around the apartments, unless they just somehow disappeared because no one had been in position to recover them. He's not going to be hunted either. So yeah, the 1 AK carried through. A 5th round though on the board from sAw, and it's off the back of a crazy play from Just as well. 1 more bullet lands on him. They stop that B play. It tracks. The bomb would have been quite far away as well at that point, so could have given an opportunity over the forZe. Instead, they're facing a 5-0 deficit here in the early stages. On their own map choice at that as well. Again, we didn't really know what to expect from sAw because in the last month anyway, they've only played 1 game here. They lost pretty heavily to Movistar Riders, but Movistar Riders are a really solid Inferno team as well. And then if you start going back over a month ago when they were playing it a bit more, it was iffy, but they were putting in close games most of the times. I was not expecting them to be able to just take over a T side like this though.
Yeah, it's been a blinding start, but it's not over yet. 5-0 is a fantastic baseline, but they do need more than that. Rough bolt straight to open things up, but they're going to keep on charging through it. Shalfie still alive, but only for a moment. As now Klax is left solo defender in the mini pit, and Roman's having none of it, taps him away, and well, as I say, it's not over yet at 5-0. It's going to be 6. sAw just popping in and finding a couple of quick entries, changing the pace up massively. Their T-side's very slow on Ancient, very slow to start off here on Inferno as well. But this time they pop quickly. Flashes are good, utility solid, and I think you can safely say a little unfortunate for the CT side. You know, you got Roman on 9 HP, he's been dinked up. U-Jerks on 10, he's been dinked as well. But you got to take advantage of what you're given, and well, the T-side are putting those AKs to work at the minute. 6th round on the board, a couple of save rifles. Should be able to get the buy off the back of that with the max loss bonus as well, but well, it's getting towards that sort of point where you start saying, you know, economy's not the issue. It's we need to get some rounds on the board and fast.
Yeah, it's almost now or never really. Otherwise, I think it's just gonna run away from them. sAw aren't the sort of team that gets complacent either when they start getting these leads go like some others might. Just not really how they approach the game. Buy at least should be pretty decent. Jerry can drop one over to Crad. Klax can just about buy for himself. If not, Shalfie can give him a rifle, although he'll have no nades then. So see what way they work it out. Either way, should still be an investment. Just having a chat about what exactly they're going to do with it. When do we get the crazy mid push? You always get one of those on an Inferno.
I feel like well, now's not actually an awful time to call it, but with the firepower they've got, I think they might want a bit more. 3 rifles on the board. You know, we've seen what the 5-7 can do already. Shalfie doing a lot of work with that in towards the apartments. It's not a bad buy by any means for the CT side, so that kind of heavy mid-lean maybe going to be saved for another day. Instead, they're going to put the AWP on a peak down mid, flashed off it. Be forced to retreat. Again, more measured approach to the opening moments here from that T side, only now working their way through the initial angles. And a timing almost there for the CT pistol of Clax, but Roman's got the better of him on that initial play. And now it starts to get a little awkward as well, as the CT side actually going to go for a gamble. Look to stack up very heavily on this A site. In fact, entirely on this A site. And for now, sAw aren't reading this. Bomb is starting to slowly make its way up. Multiple bodies here. No pressure on just on Banana, but he's not pushed far enough to really know. They have, in fact, stacked this A site. And with a two-man apps play now called in as well, this starts to get a little sketchy. sAw walk into this. It could be a nightmare. Jerry has at the very least rotated round to B, but as the 5-7 of Crad nabs it a rifle, this becomes a full buy on the A site near enough. In fact, it's a full buy now across the board for the CT side. Crad falling back. Rotations are starting to come through, however, and again, that just complete lack of any presence from sAw has forced forZe to reconsider a couple of things, and it's left them vulnerable. Ujux catches the freebie. Story picks off the long player. And the patience pays off for sAw. I was so scared they were going to walk into that stack. They had no info over towards B. But just by playing it slow, just by taking a very measured approach to things, they make forZe second guess themselves. Second guess that stack. They call it off, reassemble the B hold, and at that moment, sAw strikes 7 on the board. Even with these saved rifles, we're getting towards dire straits for the CT side of forZe.
Yeah, and they're in a position where they should finally be just throwing themselves at these saving players. Because we've had someone save almost every round, it seems, at this point. They have money here on this T side. They can try and limit these buys even a little bit more from forZe. That should make things even easier than they've been thus far. But let's see, for now, only just moving in towards B. He might have a shot at one of those kills, but not expecting too much. Although the molly, I think he put down in the back of the bomb site. There you go, yeah, actually does manage the 1 kill. Only an up being saved forward. Sorty's actually yet to even get himself a frag on the scoreboard. And in the meantime, sAw nearly halfway to victory here on this map. And with that in the series as well. So, yeah, this is terrifying. I mean, sAw are just... They cut through the A defense in that last round, as you said. Played them perfectly.
Doing a fantastic job of just changing the pace. Right, never letting forZe settle or really understand what's going on. There's going to be aggression down Banana this time. A heavy play for both sides, and well, it's worked out initially. Just once more, and around the edges of the smoke, he'll get it. The trades are even, however. We're just on, well, just 6 HP. forZe will take this for an opening engagement. Roman is starting to think about a creep out of these apartments as well. He's set himself with vision onto long, but with the two-man short play, won't be getting anything from that anytime soon. Sorte just over peaks it ever so slightly, and Roman off the back of it will get himself in towards the pit. Should have spotted the short player there as well on the jump peak. I'm not sure he did. So a stalemate ensues with the man advantage ever so slightly in favor of that T side, but Story makes it increasingly so. And with Shalfie pushing in, it's the Bogdan Dorp, just who will get it done. And that's a guaranteed lead at the half, unopposed now for sAw. And again, it's that chopping and changing of pace. Initial control very swiftly into Banana, but then so patient with those moments in the mid-round, so willing just to sit and wait for the aggression, wait for the mistake to come to them, which it keeps on coming to them from forZe.
I mean, what is happening? Why are forZe falling apart on Inferno of all maps? They ran it to an overtime on Ancient, man. What is going on? I'm trying to peek down Banana anyway in the early stages here. Would find a fight against Story. Is that just like crazy zoomed out? Yeah, I'm wondering what was going on. It's just not zooming in at all.
It's one of my favorite bugs, that one, because it looks like a proper old school shooter.
Like the montages,
yeah. Where your scope up would just be, oh yeah, we'll just put a crosshair on your normal screen. Like there was just nothing more than that. It looks great.
Just throw a circle in the middle, black lines.
Exactly.
Yeah. Keep the outside view.
Proper throwback era, and I like this from forZe. Aggression down Banana.
The nades already.
Not called out as of yet either. As you said, then the utility is not good on B. If they can break this split on the sAw side of things, it would be nightmare fuel. The molly flushes crowd wide. They know
they have another.
They've got more utility. They got more mollies, in fact, to flush both of these guys out, and it's going to be a demolition job on B. They'll charge through off the back of this. They should know that B is wide open for the taking, having disassembled the aggression. Rotation is starting to come in from sAw, but through the smoke, the damage off Roman is huge. And that damage alone might be enough to convince forZe that, yeah, it's not even worth going for. We'll back away. We'll fight for another day. The curse of Inferno continues. Really is the map that seems to just bring out the most in terms of saving and this new meta and the economy just being completely disastrous because you need so much utility to deal with it. And, well, sAw, they're taking every opportunity they get with open arms, right? You pointed it out just before they went back to B. There wasn't enough utility to be that aggressive. They didn't have the smokes to hold off, to get themselves out of mollies, and well, sAw had everything they needed. They had the HEs, they had the mollies to flush it out and disassemble it.
Yeah, they probably thought they were fortunate after the first one went down. He's like, okay, yeah, they've already put one molly and they knew they'd burned me heavy. Surely they won't waste the second one on me. Fortunately, he just kind of doomed his teammate. Might have been the better play to just force the fight initially rather than cross. Because even if he went down only taking some damage, or if he got one and then died, they might not have expected his teammate to still be tucked in the close corner. Anyway, you can't really dwell on it at this point. It's nearly double digits for sAw, and forZe are yet to respond with a single round. I go with the presumption that this is a pause from forZe.
Feels safe.
Is indeed, we've had that confirmed.
Yeah. It felt pretty safe.
Could have been a disrespect pause, you never know. Crad surely he's going to buy armor, please. There we go.
He's got enough money for head as well, but he's not going to bother.
Don't really need it. Fairness. An extra 1100 could come in useful in one of these next rounds where they likely will have to buy again, considering how poorly it's been going. Juggling the HEs, I like this from Jerry.
I like the idea as well. Try and convince them maybe with a nade stack that there's more presence than there actually is. And well, for now, the nade's not quite finding their mark. If they'd gone towards the logs, there was kills to be had, but instead it's Story legging up his man, takes a dink off the back of it. So the damage exchange pretty much even in those opening moments towards Banana, but it's the CT side who have to concede it. Again, a lot of utility expelled in these opening moments and not really anything gained off the back of it. A warning flash in. Nothing more than that. sAw happy to reset and go again. This time it's going to be towards that bracket position. Molotov goes out. That's nicely timed from forZe. That'll buy them a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of space, and Shalfie wants to take it. It's a good setup, this, for forZe. Hot flash comes in, multiple players blinded, a couple of quick picks. That's exactly what forZe needed to get themselves into this one. The bracket control is countered well. What's the response here from sAw? Taking the bomb towards bracket, the more heavily stacked site looks to be the target for now, as Just is having a poke, but the flash isn't good enough. Zorti gets the freebie, and now they'll have a crack at B, but with Just still held by the CT smoke, and Jerry just playing the angles, buying the space for Crad. It's a free kill, and Story on 15 HP. Nothing more to do than that. It will be a first round on the board for forZe. They will start to open their account on Inferno, but is it too little too late?
Keeping all alive as well. This should be pretty nice. I'll have to see. Because, I mean, sAw kind of walked out mid, got torn apart. They're probably not going to go for a repeat performance in the next round, at least not willingly either. So we'll need to see forZe themselves try something different here to chain the rounds together. Maybe that banana control once again. The only problem is with the economy being so ridiculously strong for sAw, they're going to have full utility mollies, HEs, and such to clear out these positions later in the round as we've seen before. So I don't even know if that's the correct play to be going for. See what the plan is. Heavy B in the early stages at the very least. I would imagine a peak coming through, if not the actual aggression itself. That looks to be the case. Jerry's just going to charge straight down. Didn't spot the player jumping back out, but he does eventually hear the footsteps, and Mutris leaving himself open. I don't think he expected that aggression to have come in. Story gets naded into oblivion as well, down to 27. Surprised he's alive, but I'm sure he'll take the chance to still contribute to the round, even if he's being somewhat neutered. Ooh.
Isolated off on site if they can find him, but Zorti's getting pickings, free 1v1s. Given up to him. He'll take them with open arms, and at this point, the round is done. Story again left out on a limb. Orb in hand. I mean, he doesn't necessarily need to save this either. The money is going to keep on coming. The problem is, they've got him pretty much locked out of this. Crowd should have a freebie here as he rounds the corner, and indeed he will. Second round on the board. forZe looking to stage a late recovery here, but the lateness of it is going to be an issue. You know, regardless of the situation, they're only going to be getting at most 6 CT rounds, and that is putting them firmly on the back foot. And you wouldn't expect a sAw to go down that quietly either, Dean.
No, I mean, even if they somehow lose all the remaining rounds in this half, they're going to keep it scrappy. I mean, that would be pretty demoralizing, demotivating for them if they somehow did lose the last 4 rounds, but I think their goal really is to add even just 2 more on top of this 11-4 would be enough. Anything on top of that, massive bonus. So just gets mollied. They're going to wait out the nades this time rather than moving up quite as quickly. The same for forZe, not looking to challenge immediately. I guess they didn't have much of an option with a molly at the half wall. They'll actually call in for some help even. I suppose it's doable considering they pushed Shelfie through second mid, but apparently this position is being watched.
Oh.
Roman was ready for it, but he can't win out the aim duel. And with that, Shelfie's given freedom to fall back at this point and actually just hold for the connection back up through mid. So they know what's going on. sAw are pretty much forced into making the B commitment happen. And now that they've found a bit of success on B, that might be a good call.
Just with a double spray down has brought them a huge amount of control. Utris is going to play the smoke timing onto Clax as well. This could fall apart, but it's well pincered. Brad and Clax, the new boys combining. Get a lot of the heavy lifting done, and well, Crad wants more. He's going to time this, or is he? He's just thinking about going through his own smoke there. Backs out of it. He's left as the sole defender of this B site, though. 40 seconds left. He hasn't got any more utility to stall it out. Playing inside of his own CT smoke. 30 seconds on the clock as the execute comes in. Crad is going to have to get a hell of a lot done with not a lot of utility. Just the firepower. Gets the first and backs away. Just what the doctor ordered. More damage through the smoke. He buys his team the man advantage, and now support lines being ran. Just trying to be cheeky, but it's not going to work at all. Sorry, through the smoke. Manages to find at least one. Taps that bomb to try and bake something out, but it's not going to work. forZe are starting to find their feet here, and the momentum is starting to swing ever so slightly their way.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate they couldn't find this bit of life earlier on. Even if they got a sAw where about 6, we probably could have seen this half turned around into a decent one. At the moment, it's really all about just the salvage operation. And the pause comes in this time for sAw to have a bit of a chat. Starting to run down their money finally, so they're like, probably make sure we're using this as efficiently as we can at this point as we're running out of rounds.
Starting to get just a little bit concerning, right? They've still got, no matter what happens here, they're going to have a fantastic T side going into the halftime break. But what they don't want to do is surrender the last 6 on the trot, give a little bit of that momentum back to their opposition, start piling that pressure on themselves to start early on that CT side, right? Put more pressure on that pistol. They'll want a couple more rounds here just to really build that buffer. Give themselves the breathing space they want. Opportunity just to get this done quickly. Brad going to go for the peak though, and it works again. Just caught off guard. Utility goes down to counter any re-aggression, and it works brilliantly. Utris and Story both tagged up and through the smoke. Jerry takes full advantage for a second. forZe finding their feet here, and Jerry just continuing to find damage. It's another round that sAw have just been dismantled in stark contrast to how those early ones went. Just the 1 kill found from Roman before it's over. And as you said, Dean, the economy nearly at breaking point now for that T side. This is starting to feel like forZe are very much gaining the initiative.
Somehow. I mean, if they manage these final 2 rounds and then come out swinging on the T side with a pistol round of their own, then I'm going to be scared for sAw. I already am, kind of, just because of how much it's slipping away and because of the fact that we know that sAw are not the best of Inferno teams. And while they were riding the momentum, they looked good. Who knows once they hit a brick wall? Really, we're finding out right now that it is a bit tougher for them. Too quick done in terms of map control for the T side either way, waiting out nades. So it looks like they might move a little bit faster up mid and towards brackets.
Just leaving just again to try and hang on to some kind of B control, but the utility is good from the CT side. Now they can afford it. Banana control taken in its entirety. This time no mollies to flush them back out of it. Now the util's good from the CT side. They've got this T side offensive pinned in for now. No heavy rotation just yet, however. Still leaving 2 over towards that B site. So the man advantage is there for the time being for sAw. Question is, when do they look to strike? The CT smoke just about starting to fade top B. Top bracket even. Shalfie to be mollied out of his corner. Flashed out nicely. Will get one. The aggression's heard. Just, it's an awkward fight, but he gets it. Man advantage found on 3 HP, though, for Just. He is in desperately dire situation, and the spray down almost lands. Story going down on a dink as well, just about converts, and that's the B site. CT side a long way from home. They'll want to give this one a go. They've got the money to do so at this point as well. Finally, after stringing a few rounds together, they can have a think about a retake, and with Story on 10 HP, if they had any utility at all, this one would feel so much more viable. Instead, it's just the firepower, all that's left. A second smoke to refresh the CT. Keep forZe guessing just that little bit longer. Double digits on the cards if sAw can get this over the line. And for Klax and Zorte, it's taken a long old time for them to get anywhere near this site. The bomb over halfway gone as they finally start to make their way out of the coffin. Zorte gets one, but he's quickly traded away, and that AWP needs to get out. He knows it. He's going to try and escape with his life, but he's being hounded, and U-Jerks is not going to allow it to happen. forZe perhaps slightly unfortunate there for the round to go the way it does, but sAw, again, just riding the momentum of those initial kills. A little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune on the dinks on the B players, but they get it done. Double digits on the board on the T side of Inferno.
Yeah, they played it well, kind of with the later control towards Banana, catching those players out of position, and while finally getting something to work with after 4 rounds straight for forZe. Sadly, didn't actually break the economy. Weren't too far off doing so, though. I mean, this isn't a perfect fight. There's a lack of nades on a few players. They decide because of that they need to take a few gambles in terms of the plays. The boost up for Zorti. Shalfie pushing in. Doesn't expect a quick follow-up from the apartments. And that actually gives full long control now over the U-Jerks. So I was going to say, if he pushes through, he could be a massive nuisance in the spawn. Instead, decides to stick around, head back down mid and join up with his teammates so that they can bring this towards B. Where if they go relatively quick, they're going to have an open bomb site itself.
Yeah, there's timings all over the board here because they don't know on the CT side what kind of long control's been taken, so they've got to play it passive. Retake attempt in towards CT. Crad now knows that there's no one in there, so they've got to be setting up for something, and that something is a B play. Smoke goes out from Crad to try and buy himself a little bit of space. He'll swing into the site with the flashes, spamming out though, fully blind. Just gets the freebie. That's bomb now. Crossing into the site itself, even 3-on-3 on the retake. Utility to try and deny the plant, tickles away, doesn't do enough though, and the kills, they just keep on coming for this T side. Klax last up. He's been heard inside of that CT smoke as well. Story grabs the bomb. It's a rough old fight though, and Klax on low HP isn't done yet. Edge of the smoke he spotted. It's 11-4 as we head into the half. A late recovery from sAw.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
A little sketchy in places, but finished in style by sAw. 11-4 as they head to the CT side of Inferno. Their fate fully in their control. And a pistol that forZe must win if they want any chance of continuing in this series and any chance of coming back into it. This is essential.
And it's fairly heavy towards the A bomb site right now. They have a quick rotation from the arches. They have 2 players in the pit and one here who can help out on long as well, who might be in trouble though, considering he is being isolated. Nutra's doing what he can, comes out with 1. sAw going to get the initial advantage, and the long range USP for UJerks is making it happen. He's been incredible in these pistol rounds.
Doing it again here, just continuing to find damage, but we're into an even 2-on-2. Bomb in the control of the CT side is what makes this awkward as UJerks looks for more and finds it. Brad left in the 1v2. Big old clutch needed. The only thing he's got going for him is that the CT side have no idea where he's coming from just yet. Now UJerks knows it. Spots out his man. Still plenty of time for Crad if he wants to reposition, wants to juggle this round. Long still very much an option. The CT side opting to be proactive with it, and that will leave the bomb open for Crad should he manage to get round in time. He's got to clear this whole site though, and now it starts to get very squirrely. Crad starting to realize that the site has actually been left. He knows there was presence here not too long ago. Grabs that bomb. Well, he could hightail it here. He could, if the timing is right, get out to B, and that's exactly what he's going to do. One shot not landed from UJerks, and the B bomb site he realizes wide open for the taking. No kits yet on this CT side. I'm not sure if there's one on the ground for them as Crad looks to pull off the impossible for forZe. Bomb goes down. Just without armor either makes this that little bit more awkward. Crad sets himself. Headshot angle in towards those coffins. UJerks first up on the chopping block. Spotted. Tapping away. Crad needs a clean shot and he only gets the 1. Just able to back his teammate up. UJerks again with a big contribution. 3 kills in the round, just there to finish the job. It's 12 on the board for sAw. The bomb going down at the very least means forZe can force, but they are running out of opportunities to have their stamp on Inferno.
Yeah, I just don't think it will really be good enough at this stage. As you said, the bomb plant gives them a chance maybe to force if they want, or they can take the eco and then get a pretty solid buy, but you're going to be down 13-4 as well. It's a rough situation no matter what, and they do decide to go for it. Okay, we're maybe just going to see the few pistols being upgraded, but 2 Galils, some Tech 9s, or a Tech 9 rather, a Deagle and a Mac 10. So a solid variety of weaponry.
SMG heavy run for the CT side as well. 2 MP9s, 2 FAMAS, which may as well be an SMG. Only the 1 M4 on Muterus. Makes it that little bit more awkward. Flashes are good, just has to back away. Presence charging into him now. Multiple bodies. Bait the smoke out and reset towards top banana. For now, no rotation from the CT side either. 1 FAMAS and 1 MP9. Up against Galil's, Techs, Mac 10s. It's a rough old hold. The rotation timings aren't great either. A 4th. UJerks making his way back around towards A. A little bit of utility dropped in the hands of Shalfie and Jerry to fake out the A control and keep that rotation there all the longer. Silently, forZe will look to crash into this B site with only just there to defend. Smoke goes into CT. This rotation has to be quick now. UJerks starting to make his way around. Everyone is here for the T side. It's all or nothing on this B hit. Utility flying in. Molotovs to clear the site. They don't know nobody's home for the CT side yet. Crad crosses, gets away with it. The boost up doesn't find anything. They should be able to get the bomb down off the back of this as well. 25 seconds left as they line it up. Just wants to go through the smoke, but clacks through it, has found the opening. The man advantage. Coveted prize. Story looks to wrestle it back and will find 1. Even 4-on-4. Is it a retake the CT side? Want to throw pistols at. Want to throw weapons into. Just gets 1. But there's damage being done left, right, and center here. Clax is dinked up back sight, but Crad is there to back him up. And it's all on Story. A 1v2 with no information on that second player. The bomb ticking away all the while. Now he's seen both of them. He knows where they are. He gets the first, but it's onto Jerry in the 1v1. The experienced hand just backs away from the fight. And that will be job done. Jerry will hunt this as well. He won't let that MP9 get away. It's a much-needed 5th round for forZe.
That's the advantage of the rifles, just forcing their way into B, and once it comes down to the retake, forZe are in a favourable position. When it coming down to a 1v1 in the end, shouldn't make too big of a deal for shouldn't be too big of a deal for forZe rather, since they are now coming up against a really weak buy either way, so they'll have a chance to actually start building some economy. Scouting some pistols, though, I mean, with the game sAw I've been having so far, I don't want to fully count them out. Definitely could make this dangerous.
Should be an opportunity for forZe just to settle.
Sorty wants the Deeg fight up mid against the Scout.
Brave. Nothing coming from it just yet, however. sAw happy to play passive. Trusting their holds at the moment as Jerry clears his way out towards top B. This kind of firepower, it should be smooth sailing, and from there the eco to follow. It's a great opportunity for this T side. Start establishing their presence, start building that economy. Smoke to push out the long control. Yet to really do anything with it with a minute left on the clock, but just making their presence known all over the map. Second smoke is out from the CT side. The rotation of Story doesn't have one to refresh, so that's it. The last of the utility, and sAw, I think they've got a little bit of a read off the back of it as well. Third man rotates into place on B, and for now, the bomb is here. They're going to queue up. They're going to look to flash through this, and the timing could not be worse. It's a Slaughter. Just somehow manages to grab one back from it, but he can't find the second. The flash not quite on time, and Jerry is there to punish. 2 quick kills. The round is done. Roman and Muterus will look to save the 5-7s for another day, but it's going to be 6. Still a long old gap for forZe to deal with, but it should get easier before it gets harder.
Yeah, it looks like they're happy enough to at least have a 5-7 in Kevlar in this next round, where they will otherwise just fully eco. Should be 7 on the board for forZe if they get the next gun round up to 9, and at that point they start believing that we do truly potentially have that comeback on our hands. E looking like a favourite site so far for forZe anyway. We'll see if that keeps up, how sAw are going to react to it. I'd imagine once the guns come out, we'll probably see the banana controller sort of team that throws in more aggressive CT plays. The ones that can be controlled, at least somewhat. Really, the hope was they'd be gifted a weapon. It's going to be a full eco, really, other than what they've saved over.
Yeah, nothing more than that. That gap's starting to come down, like you said, and this is another one where if they can keep all 5 alive, it's a lovely money maker. Build themselves into this half, slowly but surely, take it round at a time as always. sAw just going for the straight up A site stack. Looking for some aggression through the apartments with both of the 5-7s. I like this call. 2 most powerful weapons you've got, stick them in the position they can do the most work and hope, beyond all hope, that you get something from it. Shalfie's going to go for a wander out. Bracket spots the shoulder of Just. Not able to punish it for any more than that. Just a little bit of damage, a little tick. But they've worked out the B is open now, the utility going in. They're starting to realise the game is up, and Shalfie, well, he wants some kills, he wants some money, and he's going to start getting it too quick. As Roman hoping maybe that 5-7 is good for 1 after all. Clax won't clear him and will go down. Shalfie now will begin the hunt. Be a little bit careful here. Again, this round's about making yourselves as much money as you can, making sure you don't lose any more rifles than you have to. And, well, Shalfie's making exactly that a certainty. Roman at least will be able to trade for 1 on this AK, but he's going to be hunted. Jerry's actually slipped the net as well, has made his way in towards sight. Timing's all over the shop here now. Roman might actually get a 3rd kill for free if Crad isn't necessarily expecting this, knowing that Jerry has walked his way through. But Crad is wise enough to check it. So the gap at 5. The rifle should be able to come out into the next for sAw, but this isn't a done game yet, Dean.
No, definitely not either way. Should see sAw hopefully get some footing on the CT side now that the guns are coming out, but even then, it's 2 FAMASs that they're stuck working with. They're going to have a little bit of a pause because they know that it's not ideal, that there is definitely some weaknesses they need to overcome, and well, now that forZe are getting some momentum going as well, you can see the confidence flowing. Crad's been having a solid game, Shalfie having his moments as well. not necessarily the players you'd expect towards the top of the scoreboard, but they're the sort of team where I suppose that spot is kind of up for the take in every game. All very capable. Here we go. The nades at least pretty much all there, but you've got 3 FAMASs actually. Very likely to perhaps try and take a bit more aggressive control down Banana, just to have those close positions.
It's a risk, though, up against the AKs. Dangerous game to play. As that gap starts to creep ever closer, you'll start to, like you said, feel the fidgetiness of sAw. Knowing this map isn't their strongest suit. I think Inferno's coming up next, which is... Not Inferno coming up next. Overpass is coming up next, which is a solid old map for forZe. By no means a done deal here. sAw will want to start re-establishing themselves quickly on this CT side. Just to retake top Banana, start to confirm a lack of presence. Utility goes in. Deep smoke. They're going to try and fight this with the utility. And they've succeeded in flushing the T side out. The question now is the timings, though. forZe, knowing that they've lost it, will start to swarm on bracket. 3 players to charge into Story. Alone on an M4 for now. U-Jerk's just about starting to rotate in with that FAMAS Story. Awkward fight gets the first. Crowd out of the smoke. Will trade, though. 4-on-4, they'll disconnect. They'll back away from this. U-Jerks needs the info, and it's the FAMAS that betrays him. Goes in for the fight. It's a rough old spray from both teams. The trades coming in left, right, and center. Zorte down to 20, but this fight is everything, and it's the FAMAS of Just that undoes it. Gives the man advantage over to forZe and gives them the B site. Surely at this point, the smoke will go down. That'll block out the CT rotations with 25 seconds left. They'll try and catch them in transition, but it's not going to happen. Clax will get the plant. Well, what does sAw even do at this point? 1 flashbang in. All 3 players from forZe grouped up, queued up, waiting for this fight to be given to them. A 2-man pool set up, in fact. And Clax gets the freebie. Utris will go in, will trade for 1. Finds the second player, spots him, but doesn't expect the man in pool. The gap, it narrows further. Are you starting to feel fidgety yet? Saw the gap at just 4. The money breaks again, and they can't hold on to it, Dean.
Damn, if you expected that second player in the pool there as well, that would have been winnable. But yeah, I mean, that push on Banana there in the 3-on-3 seemed like the misplay. There was a smoke as well that could have been put down to waste time over towards B and allow those rotations to come in. Instead, he just peeks and dies. I mean, it looked like he probably should have had the kill in fairness, if not for the FAMAS, but either way, it doesn't work out. And now you've only got 4 rounds in the difference, which... Sure, still is a good lead on paper, but not when you remind yourself that sAw had a 9-0 lead at one point, so that slipped away pretty quickly from them. I would imagine they are sweating somewhat at the fact that this is becoming a much closer game here.
Oh, yeah. This is starting to get just a little bit fidgety.
Overpass the Cider as well. It's a fantastic map for forZe. Normally, anyway. It's hard to tell with this 5-man, but...
It's one of those situations where sAw needs to get control of the economy. You know, that round, if they had 5 M4s, they probably win it. There's 2 big opportunities that go to the FAMAS and get lost because of it. Wrap into the A site seems to be the call for now. Baiting out a little more CT utility on B with 55 seconds on the clock. Potentially CT wrap is a possibility, but they want the A site. 4 players here and waiting for sAw. Couldn't ask for a better opportunity on these sort of half buys. On his left bracket as Zorte goes for a little bit of a poke in. They're trying to bait out the info, trying to find out what's here. Clean headshot for 1, but Clax is there for the trade. sAw know they need these kills and quickly, but Zorte is getting the most of it, and they're finding them very swiftly here. Mutaris gets 1 more, but it's quickly cancelled out, and at this point it should be game over in this round, and indeed it is. The half-buy can't find any purchase. The gap at just 3 rounds, and the economy, well, it is set in stone for forZe now. They have got money for multiple buys. For sAw, it's a very different picture. Scrapping this one together, Just will again take the FAMAS after it betrayed him just 2 rounds ago. Rest of the team, at the very least, able to get their favoured weapons.
Even then, they still have 1 FAMAS in play. There's not a flawless buy. It's as close as they've gotten in fairness. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but still, the comfort of all the rifles would have been nice. Either way, 3-man B stack early on. They toss a bit of utility down, but they don't show too much presence as to give it away anyway. So Crad just charges in anyway.
Crad.
Story gets wrecked, and well, you do see an attempt to follow up from Ujerks, I believe it was. Indeed it is. But already it's been pretty much... Banana, rather, has been pretty much abandoned by forZe. Looks like they want to execute straight into A.
This is a nightmare now. So little control for sAw, so little information about what's going on. Still, the man advantage remains for this T side, and you can see Roman fidgety to get it back, but he can't afford to overcommit. Ujerks has been the hero for so many rounds now. Just flashed off his angle. Smoke goes in to isolate, and through it, Shalfie gets another. And they're going to back into B off of this. They are just calling the perfect game here. There's nothing sAw can do or say that is stopping the train that is this forZe T side right now. They need to save these rifles, but Ujerks has thrown his away. Crad gets the freebie. This is double digits. A solitary CT round, and the pistol at that. The wheels have come off of it for sAw, and they are in so much trouble now. The hunt will begin in earnest. forZe have got the money to throw rifles at this situation. And they are going to throw the kitchen sink at it. Bunny hopping out long is Crad. Double digits, just 2 rounds the difference. That is not something we thought we'd find ourselves saying after how that first half went. sAw dominant, opting to start T side and getting so much done with it too. Now just falling apart at the seams as that bomb ticks on down. They're going to get hunted. There's nothing more they can say or do to stop this. They're trying to hold on to the rifles, but it's not going to happen. 12-10. Everything is stripped away from this CT side. They will save nothing.
No, I don't know if they can even save themselves at this point. 11th should be free. I mean, as free as it can be, considering it's only pistols and they've struggled to do anything with full gun rounds. It should basically be theirs without too much trouble. We'll see, though, another pause. Maybe we finally get the wild charge down mid, a few nades perhaps behind it. Expecting something, hopefully, with the weaker buy that they're going to pull out.
They need something, because, I mean, there's going to be a 1-round gap after this. forZe are steamrolling them at the moment.
It was 9-0 at one point. How has this turned around so drastically?
You're looking at 6 unopposed T-side rounds so far. forZe managed to get a run of 4 on the CT side, but they started to find their form. sAw got the pistols. They only need 3 to level the opposition, but so far they've had nothing. Been outplayed pretty much across the board, and well, this one's a rough old one as well. The force buy, not even that, a half buy. Handful of pistols, hoping for a hero. Smoke's dropped to allow Just to buy as much time as he possibly can as the solo B player. With control taken already, and Smokes aren't going to do it all by themselves. GT Smoke goes out. That baits another one out of Just. One more in his back pocket. The 1:15 left on the clock. Not going to be able to hold this offensive for too much longer now. Spam through the smoke from forZe to let Just know as well that they are waiting. As soon as that smoke fades, they'll be headed in. So the team start to think about broken bracketing.
Yeah, I mean, it can be somewhat risky, but they've already made their way out mid. That's where the pistols maybe could have caused the most trouble. Obviously, they can still cause some from the bomb site, especially if time is left low once the push is coming in, but the actual map control, at least leading to the bomb sites, is fairly easily being taken by forZe. I was going to say they also had Banana if they wanted. Crad was looking up, but no, they're going to all move back in towards A here together and see what can be done. These pistols, a slim chance maybe if they can pull off some kills. One player in the smoke giving away an AK. Gives it to Mutris, who unfortunately can't do anything with that rifle that he recovered, and It's only a single kill from Story as well on the bomb site before he's taken out. 7 seconds left as that bomb is planted, and Just is only just now on his way over from that B bomb site. And I don't think any of the weapons are recoverable. It looks like they were all lost within the bomb site / pit area.
Right, cool. Wrong execution again. They had their opportunity there, sAw. 4-man stack on A. Pistols couldn't get it done, and at this point, you know, 2 rifles going down for forZe is nothing. It's neither here nor there. They are not fussed. Just 1 round the difference. Just will save his head armor. This buy now, I still really feels essential. forZe draw level, that momentum takes them over the line, and we have Overpass next up, as you said, and as we've pointed out, a map historically for forZe, very solid. With this buy coming out now, it has to work for sAw. They have to get back in the saddle. It's not going to get any easier from here on out either. The buys will keep on coming for forZe, even if sAw can start to string a couple together. The buffer that they bought themselves is all but gone. Just 1 round stands between forZe and leveling things up. Not a sentence I thought I'd find myself saying here on map 2. They're going for it. Flash is too late. Crad gets a freebie. Not again, just tagged down. Timing on the smoke is good. That's the fortuitous kill. Keeps them in it. But off the back of it, it's more pace, more aggression. Muteris having a very lonely figure under porch here. Needs to get a lot done. Spray down is awkward, but he gets 1. Needs the second, and will find it before the trade. Has bought his team a seldom seen man advantage. Can they hold on to it? It's isolated fights all over the shop right now. Zorte swings in, just gets the kill. And it's all on Jerry, the old hand, to find himself a 1v3. Just is tagged down. He knows it. Has to reset his angle. Gives up control. Jerry looks to work his way in, and he baits the shot. Half HP now for Jerry. Molotov to flush out the pit. He's hoping to draw a rotation, but nothing is forthcoming. Story for now remains posted on B. That Molotov won't last forever. Roman reestablishes himself in towards the pit. 35 seconds. It's still a 1v1 for Jerry. Clean headshot on the site is his. The opportunity, another monstrous clutch is his. He works his way into the apartments. No rotation. There's no info. It's all on this kill from Roman. Fate of the round firmly in his hands, and Jerry has played this. He's silent with it. He'll have to make noise eventually, and he does on the drop. Roman gets him. Finally, sAw find their round, but it's not without consequence. 3 players go down. The reinvestment will be rough round the edges. Meanwhile, the train of forZe will just keep on coming, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, it's one sole round after so long here as well that it doesn't instill a lot of hope in me. I need to see them replicate that performance to really start believing. forZe, to me, still in the driver's seat despite being down 2 rounds here on the T side. It is their game currently, I would say, to lose. Ton of utility toss down banana. None of it going to land, but it will allow sAw to get a bit more aggressive. Only problem is forZe with their own nades. They'll wait it out, and then they'll likely try and push back in for the control. Might even get a kill out of it. Never mind. Does do some damage, though, and forZe just back away. And considering he's got an MP9, you can't really afford to leave him alone here either. That would be a bit wild. They've held their ground for now.
On the aggression, Ujerks is tucking himself in. There's Molotovs to clear this. There's not smokes to back him up if they look to. Will be a freebie. Just is jump peeking for him. There's the Molotov. Ujerk starts to burn alive. Just needs to get that smoke down, but on 12 HP, that takes so long. A single wayward shot through the smoke does it. Ujerk somehow gets out alive, swaps the rifle, takes the SMG. The damage is huge for this T side, and again, it's sAw without any information. 35 seconds. Where do forZe look to end this? They want to get aggressive up banana, and there's nobody home. It's just. He's alone on the B site. The rotations are coming in, but they're late, and the utility is not there. teammates on these kills now. U-Jerks through the smoke manages to combine for 2. The man advantage has been bought, and through across pool they go. Zorte and Jerry. 2 on 3. Bomb ticked in. Muterus thinks about aggression, changes his mind, and the timing is good for the kill. It's all on Jerry again, and this time he can't find it. Another clutch opportunity, another miss. sAw have 14. It is not coming easy, but they have finally found their feet on the CT side. This won't break either. Let's get that defusing, boys. Let's not make the mistake. Again, it's 3 players down. Again, the money will be an issue for this CT side, and again, it will not for forZe.
Oh, that kill on, was a Muterus as well in behind the CT smoke there. The timing was just horrible. One player had been watching it. The second he looks away, it fades and he kills his teammate. That feels quite fortunate, I've got to say, for sAw, but maybe they needed some luck on their side at this point. It'll be a heartbreaking way for forZe if they manage to slip up here and can't get the comeback going once again. No op on the T side either. Happy enough to just stick with the rifles. Might see something a bit faster this time around.
Silver lining is that the economy is still decimated. They get 1 round, 1 opportunity, then that could be it. That'll break the economy all over again, and it will put sAw right back where they started. Max's initial kill onto Roman is traded by the Molotov at the very least, but the 4-on-4 again puts sAw in this situation where they've got no idea what's going on. Forced to turtle a 2-2 split. And a B-site wrap becomes a distinct possibility. You see them reacting to it now. Which again leaves that B-site vulnerable. Again leaves U-Jerks this time solo. The weight of the world on his shoulders. Rad starts to clear his corners. And it's going to be a B-site ending here. They're setting up the execute. The rotations will not be here anytime soon. They need kills out of these 2 players. They need them quickly. U-Jerks wants to go through. He gets 1. Not enough. Needs his teammate to come in with more. Up on the boost. There it is from Just. He wants another kill, and that's risky. But do well to maintain the man advantage again. Bomb goes down, and he charges in. Gets the dink on Jerry, and Muterus just about trades it. All onto Zorte. Not on his favored weapon. AK-47 tucked in close. A 1v2. Here comes the push. It's a rough old spray, and Story on the quick scope gets it done. It goes down to the last man. sAw are not getting these rounds easily, but they are trucking through. The problem is, again, that will not be enough to break forZe. They will be buying again, and again you ask questions of this CT economy. 3 players alive, 2 players alive, 1 player alive has been the spree of rounds they have got together. And so they will scramble to get a buy 1 more time. 1 more round needed to shut it down. 4 opportunities to get it over the line for sAw.
Yeah, but it took them so long to start getting rounds that they haven't had a single eco. They're just against rifles non-stop. And somehow they're making it work. A little bit of fortune on their side there in that previous round, but also some misplays, such as the push through that CT smoke from Just had me very worried, I'm not going to lie. Was nearly the moment that could have turned the round back in favor of forZe, and those nades right now, U-Jerks does dish out quite a bit himself, I believe, with the help of his teammate there on towards Krad and Shelfie, but now he's kind of trapped around the sandbags. He's going to need his teammate to give him assistance, and it's the massive Just, I was going to say, not the ideal weapon for taking that initial fight. Doesn't matter. Makes it work. And nicely timed molly as well to keep them at bay.
Retake util's good. The flash is good. The damage is huge. So unfortunate not to get the kill there. 3 players now tagged up for forZe. 3 very tagged. 2 walking wounded. They've abandoned the A side near enough entirely. It's going to be the B play or bust. Now, Story is in towards B with that AWP. So those damaged players become a little bit less of an issue. And with U-Jerks on 43, a lot of this damage is unconfirmed. Don't forget. They need to get multiple kills to tempt their teammates into this retake. If they go down clean and quickly, then this unconfirmed damage might not ever be known. They might not ever get an opportunity. U-Jerks flashed off his angle, tags up 1, but now his position's known. Story backs his man up for 1 and grabs the second. That'll be enough. That'll pull in the rotations. They'll give this one a go in a 2-on-4. Bomb going down. Shalfie on 19, Zorti on 45. Shalfie goes top first, and he's picked out of the sky by Roman. It's on to the last man. It's on to Zorti to find a 1v4. We've seen some epic clutches out of this youngster, but this is a huge ask behind Pillar. He finds his first, second, but he's put down on 3. He will get no more. sAw will get it over the line. 16-11. This was a 9-0. They struggled and fought to maintain any kind of control over that CT side. And at the death, at the last opportunity, they get 3 rounds with 3 alive, 2 alive, 1 alive. The economy is constantly on breaking point, and they somehow find the fortitude to get every single one of those rounds. One of those goes wrong, they're right back where they started. They're on the eco. forZe is back on the charge, and it's an opportunity to take it the distance. And every time they came up with a little bit of magic to get it done.